The INS Mahe, the first of the Mahe-class anti-submarine warfare shallow water craft, was commissioned into the Indian Navy by the Chief of the Army Staff, Upendra Dwivedi. INS Mahe has been named after the historic coastal town of Mahe on the Malabar coast, which is a symbol of India's rich maritime legacy. The ship's motto, the Silent Hunters, embodies stealth, vigilance and unwavering resolve, qualities that define anti-submarine warfare ethos, the Indian Navy said. The Mahe-class craft is designed for shallow waters, boosting coastal defense. It will help detect and neutralize enemy submarines. Mahe has been built 80% with the indigenous technology at the Cochin Shipyard. It is the first ship in the ASW shallow water craft. Now, the capacity of the Mahe, multi-role platform with speed, silence and agility. Mahe is equipped with torpedoes and anti-submarine rockets. It's designed to hunt submarines, conduct coastal patrols and secure India's vital maritime approaches. It is useful in coastal security, surveillance, search, rescue operation, neutralizing sea mines. It is also handy in operations which are high risk in shallow water. With Pakistan slated to get 6 Hangor-class submarines from China, Mahe will lend an edge to India's arsenal. Without wasting more time, let me straight away go to Vice Admiral Shekhar Sinha, former Chief of Integrated Defence Staff and Commander-in-Chief of the Western Naval Command. Thank you so much, sir, for joining me. Just to break it down for our viewers, in terms of why Mahe is an important achievement, please tell us, and what does it bring to the table?
Well, namaskar to all your viewers, and thank you, Karthikeya, for getting me on your program. It's been a long time. There are 2-3 important things apart from the operational part, which I'll come to a little later. It has been designed by a shipyard which is not a defense shipyard. Cochin Shipyard is a civil shipyard. Though they have made the aircraft carrier, but aircraft carrier is not a very weapon platform. Second thing is that there are a large number of private industries are involved in building this, this ship. You have the L&T Defense, Mahindra Defense, NPOL, which is the DRDO, and there are more small 20 the medium and small manufacturing enterprises who are involved in this, apart from the Cochin Shipyard, which is designed and built it. Now, why it is important, Karthikeya? Because we had a very demanding task of having something in the shallow water, because the enemy submarines tend to lurk in shallow water and sit outside harbors, and they wait for your warships to come out, and when they come out, they tend to sort of attack the warships, and it is very vulnerable. All our bigger ships, the ASW ships, the draft is quite a lot. Draft meaning the the depth of the ship below the water level, and therefore they can't come that close to the coastline. So there was a need for making these shallow water craft. They are very light. They are just about 1100 tons. And all the weapon system that you mentioned is absolutely true. Majority of them are very much indigenous. The the sonar has been designed by our own scientists. We already had Hangor, one of the world's most advanced sonar that we operate for a long time, designed by our own naval officer. He was a commander. Now, of course, he's a professor emeritus in the Stanford University. Now, the miniature version has been put here, and also out of the same sonar, they have made a towed array, meaning that the sonar will be actually towed behind, so that it is not getting impeded by the shallow depth of water. So what it will do is, while it is patrolling in the areas, likely submarine areas in the shallow water, it will find out where the submarine is, capable of attacking it by our own torpedo and also the mines.
Okay, let me ask a question like a defense buff. So what makes shallow water anti-submarine operation different from deep sea anti-submarine operation?
Yeah, quite a lot, because in deep sea, once the sonar transmission takes place, it does not hit the bottom for quite some time because of the depth. And if there is a submarine hiding below in a deeper water, the chances of it getting caught are much higher. Whereas in shallow water, the transmission which takes place, it gets deflected by the sea surface pretty early in its travel towards the bottom of the sea, and therefore it is quite possible that in the slant range of the travel of these waves, you will not find the submarine if you are using a bigger ship. Yeah, because the point is that your transmission should be in such that before it hits the bottom, it should actually touch the submarine and send you an echo back so that you know that yes, this is a submarine contact, which cannot be done by the challenge of the bigger ships is that it cannot come so close, and when it transmits, it tends to go little very high speed, hits the bottom and comes and reflects back. Okay. So that's the advantage of a shallow watercraft.
So how has naval warfare changed with the drone technologies, drone torpedoes, drone submarines, and where does Mahe come in that context?
Well, first of all, the first question, drones have really changed they don't change the nature of warfare. I mean, nature of warfare does not change. I mean, it has to hit your enemy ship or submarine. I mean, that remains the major sense. But what happens now with the drone, it can be picked up, but they tend to be slightly smaller than the actual submarine or the actual ship because of propulsion, because of the size, because of the control systems. Number one. The second thing is that these are the ones who are little more difficult to detect because of their size. And secondly, they are actually controlled from ashore, number one, or it is autonomous. So they can really fool around with the ships by having a large number of deviations in their courses, which the normal ships don't tend to do that much. So this is a little bit of difficult situation. Torpedo decoy, yes, it gives you a false sense that the actual torpedo is coming, and you may start just hunting, and you may start heading for that torpedo or maybe avoiding that torpedo, whereas the actual torpedo is coming later and it hits you. So it is it's a cat and mouse game really. At sea, anti-submarine warfare is completely cat and mouse game, and it says catch me if you can. So these are the smaller ships who can do this catch me if you can. If you've seen the Tom and Jerry, so the Jerry is always fools Tom most of the time, and it's exactly the same thing. It is Tom and Jerry show. How the drones have changed, the nature of fighting, the way you fight the war, ways of fighting the war has changed. That is because even a smaller amount of explosive with very little cost can do a very major damage if it can get through. Number one, the drones are smaller. I'm talking about the airborne drones. They are very small, very difficult to detect, and if you don't detect in time, it carries as lethal a missile. That if it hits in the correct place, let us say the waterline, the ship will start flooding. The ships don't sink because of fire. The ships always sink because of flooding. That has to be remembered. So any missile, you can have a missile which has hit you on the top and gone through and through. The ship may catch fire, but it will not sink. Till such time, there is a hole somewhere and the water begins to come inside in the ship, and the stability of the ship begins to getting disturbed. So I think that drone it is a serious issue, and we are also in the process of making a drone ship. The first drone ship, the trial is already going on, and I think it's almost over. I'm sure that somebody is making a drone submarine as well. So what will happen, that it will operate in combination. Actual submarine, maybe it will control 3-4 drone submarines, so that you can fool the guy, but you also have to hit him. It's not that you fool around and come back. So you fool around, let him run for the dummy, and while you go and open fire. So same thing is going to happen to the aircraft. It will have to operate along with the fighter aircraft or along with the transport aircraft, so that you concentrate on that while the actual attack is coming from the main body, and that's much bigger and much more firepower.
I've really run short of time, sir, but this conversation for some other day, that how come Indian Navy has been more successful than other two services in this entire Atmanirbharta business. Maybe we could have a longer conversation on that.
I'll tell you just one line on that answer. We started in late 60s.
Okay.
We decided that we'll make our own ships. So that is how it started.
Okay. So that's the answer. And I always used to wonder, how has Navy succeeded so much? Thank you so much, sir, for joining me for this conversation. This is all I had in On Point today. I'll see you tomorrow at the same time. Thank you and good night.
भाई साहब, आपने भारत कनेक्ट का नाम सुना है?
एक और सोशल मीडिया ऐप
सोशल